Just to tell us what Sienna Mae did to me. To know the story here, so let's watch the video and find out.
I've sat down many times trying to do this. It's been very hard. I want to start off by saying, I just want to say thank you guys so much for your support and for giving me time. I wanted to share what I went through with Sienna and my side of the story. This all started when my friend came out with a tweet because he was worried about me. He actually witnessed a bunch of times what Sienna did to me. After Mason's tweet, their family reached out to our family, told Mason to take down his tweet, and he did. We wanted to settle it offline. Our families and our lawyers got...
What was the tweet again?
My friend came out with a tweet.
Second, seeing a girl getting praised after telling my best friend to kill himself. Okay. She has a history of verbally abusing people. She prioritized the growth of her platform rather than the positive messages. Okay, this obviously wrong.
He was worried about me. She actually witnessed a bunch of times what Sienna did to me. After Mason's tweet, their family reached out to our family, told Mason to take down his tweet, and he did. We wanted to settle it offline. Our families and our lawyers got together. My statement was confirming the tweet. It was the truth. And basically that we're handling it offline. Sienna posted her own version of the statement and said she was going to handle it offline. After that, she basically posted an 8-minute video invalidating my feelings, saying untrue stuff about me, about my friend and my brother. I think the most hurtful thing is that what she did to me, she said it was untrue. That hurt a lot. After that video, another one of my friends came out with the video when I was at a party, passed out on the couch. When they told me about what happened, they said they pulled her off of me. My twin, a friend, and another friend got in an argument with Sienna saying, "You can't do that. Jack doesn't like you like that." That night she posted a 15-part aggressive video gaslighting everything about what happened, how much she loved me, and that I was using her for clout, which was all lies. It was typical gaslighting to a victim. It was, why didn't you stop hanging out with me? Why didn't you tell me in the first place? Someone who explained it perfectly is this guy on TikTok. He posted a video and it was just, he explained like, oh my God. He explained everything perfectly.
It's a trauma that you have to process, and sometimes you have to process it alone because an entire society is against you as a man. Sienna, I've watched the video exactly of what happened, the video evidence that I've seen over and over and over again, and you say his hand moves. His hand moves because it falls off of his friend's back. Your hand is on his crotch. It is not on his upper thigh. He was unconscious. You did a bad thing, and I know you are trying to right it in every way you can because of the account that you have and the following that you have and the life that you're currently living, but I need you to just do us all a favor and admit what you did was wrong. I don't care how touchy-feely your relationship was prior to or after that moment, but just know that he did not speak up and he did not act any different because he knew a society would be against him as it is. And now that everybody's seen the truth, you just attacked in a way that is supposed to be an apology or a righting the wrong. What you're doing is manipulating right now. Any sane person knows that they wouldn't have to go on multiple platforms to post something like this, and they wouldn't be getting angry in the videos that are supposed to be addressing and apologizing. I know you've got a lot to lose, and I know you've got a lot to live for, but here's the truth. You getting worked up because people are trying to get the truth out of you does not make it right to get shitty in a video. Just know that the truth will prevail, and your bullshit lies will come out.
I think his video was one of the reasons why I was okay and was able to not come out with like an aggressive statement like her. I was able just to, I knew the truth. I knew what she did to me. Sienna and I met 4 years ago in high school. She was dating my good friend. And basically it did not turn out well. She cheated on him 2 times and it kind of like created this whole problem in our friend group. I'm the type of guy that's all for like second chances with people, and I always try to see the good in people. I was in the Hype House. I was going back and forth from LA, and Sienna had just gone viral on a couple videos. She reached out to me and basically asked if I want to do an interview with her in LA, and I said of course. We hung out, reconnected. I showed her around the hype house, introduced her to all my friends, and I was happy for her, and we just had fun hanging out. I just want to clarify that we both knew that we were just friends. She was seeing and talking to other guys in LA all the time, and I just thought of her as a good friend. We were making videos, we were making dance trends, we had fun. It was just strictly friends, and we both knew that. At this point, nothing inappropriate was happening between us. We were just friends, everything was fine. This next part of the video is very difficult for me to talk about. I've been wanting to talk about it for a long time. So the first incident where
It's a hard
Sienna
part.
crossed boundaries, it was after filming. We went into the room. I was just chilling on my phone on the bed, and she got naked, like completely naked, nothing on, and straddled me when I was literally just chilling on the bed. But I didn't know what to do in like that
That's fucked up.
situation because it was just like random and weird. Quickly told her, Sienna, get off. We're just friends. Stop. They're trying to make out with me. They're like just doing a bunch of
Okay,
things to me.
jeez.
And I kept on saying, Sienna, stop, get off.
If you don't stop without getting told by to stop, that's probably fucked up. There's some like power automation.
I didn't want to like be like aggressive. I didn't want to hurt her, you know? So I pulled her off of me, and it took like a couple of tries because I didn't want to be like too rough. And I went out of the room, and that was like the end of it. The next morning, where she was like, I'm so sorry for doing that. I don't know what went through my head. I had to clarify again that I didn't like her that
She
way.
obviously
We were just
knows.
friends. She said sorry, that was it. After that, these type of things kept happening. She would do something, and
Again.
I would forgive her, and she said it wouldn't happen again, and we would go on and making fun videos. After all those type of things kept on happening, the Hawaii
She
incident
exactly
happened
knows what
where
she's doing.
I was passed out unconscious almost like the whole night. She got on top of me, took advantage of me.
Oh, great.
I'm so glad they pulled her off of me, and honestly, I'm glad that they have evidence. After Sienna found out about the video, she said sorry. She said if this got out, she would be done, that it's horrible, and she's working on boundaries, and she was seeking therapy.
People need to
And
know.
shortly after, there was a party. I was taking pictures with a couple other girls. We took a picture. Sienna came in, started screaming at me, got mad at the girls, told
Why?
me to come to her room to talk to me. She started screaming at me, and I was like, Sienna, there's no reason
Becoming
for you to do
crazy.
that when you're getting with other guys in LA.
Yeah.
I can't just take a simple picture with a
I
couple
mean,
girls.
they're just
That's
friends.
when she pulled me in and grabbed me and tried to make out with me, and I got
Oh, great.
pissed and told her to leave. I wanted to stay at the party, and she kind of had already been yelling at every single person in the party. So two friends wanted to take her home, and while the car was moving, she jumped out of the car, rolled, and said, I have to get back to Jack. So I ran back to the house, and I was like hiding from her, and I was just waiting for her parents to finally pick her up. Looking back now, I don't know why I stayed friends with her, stayed around her. I truly thought she was gonna change for some reason. I feel like she'd say she had so much love for me and that she truly cared for me, and then the next night she would do something like that. She knew I had those boundaries. So when I was at my most like vulnerable state,
But still
like
does
when I
it
was
anyway.
arguing, getting heated, or when I was asleep or passed out, that's when she would take advantage
Try
of
to
me,
take advantage.
because she knew I was at my most vulnerable state. When I'm awake, I hated it. I hated that touch. I hated any intimacy with her
That's
because I
not
knew
good.
we were just friends. I didn't want that from her. And especially with like the past couple things she did, I didn't want anything to do with that. Over the next couple of months, I was stuck in this toxic cycle. I was stuck with her crying to all my friends, saying that I didn't like her back, and why don't I like her back? And she would get mad at me for not caring about her as much as she cared about for me. But she'd also
She's
be
like sociopath. She's
doing these things to me, and would go see
Only
other
caring
guys
about
in
herself.
LA. So it was like, couldn't win at all. I couldn't get out of this. She would constantly come to my house, remember my door codes. It got to the point where I had to like start screaming at her to to like get out of my house because I was so sick of her just like breaking into my house. I would wake up and see her car just sitting outside at like 2 a.m. She would break into my house, and when I was sound asleep, she'd come into my room, and I'd wake up to her
that's
hands in my
robbery.
pants. And it wasn't like the only time it happened too. I was so like used to it. I was so used to it that I don't know.
Just like
It was just like
burglary
normal
charges.
for me that I didn't think there was such like a problem at all. Like part of me wants to blame myself for being nice and sticking around after so
When it becomes a repeated thing, you think it's becoming normal.
many times. But now I realize that I was stuck in this like manipulative cycle of her acting like she extremely cared about me, and then that night she would do stuff to me, and it was just so normal for me. I got used to it, which sucks. I feel like no one should have to go through. It's weird. I almost felt like I owed it to her for some reason. I don't know why. Like I felt like she had this like control, like this power over me. I don't know. I was like stuck. And I feel like you should never have to like worry about like falling asleep and waking up to one of your good friends like touching you, you know? I was like terrified for some reason, which you shouldn't be from like a person. One night she started ripping off my clothes, touching my crotch area, trying to make out with me. I mean, it was just like same old, same old. Like I'd say, Sienna, stop, go back to the couch, Sienna, stop. So I like locked the door. She was trying to get in, and I literally just slept on the floor, and she finally went to bed. It's like very awkward the next morning, and she'll say sorry, and I'm like, Sienna, this happens so many times. Like, you do not respect boundaries. You just, oh my God. So my dad was born and raised in Hawaii. So we planned a trip to the beach house my dad grew up on in Hawaii. And Sienna's family basically planned the same trip on the same dates. They left a couple days before us, and we were supposed to leave on a certain date. But I didn't want to leave because she already left to go back home, and I did not want to be at home with her because I know she'd find a way to start hanging out with me again. So my mom got a text from Sienna's mom saying that Sienna is on a plane taxiing right now. Hearing that she was coming back, it was like, this cycle is never gonna end. It's like, it's gonna be like this forever. That's what it felt like. She was always gonna make her way back towards me. She wasn't respecting my space at all. She knew I wanted my space. There's another time I went to Hawaii with a couple friends for like my trip, and she kind of found a way to get on that trip. And we went to a party one night. She got mad that I was talking to some girls, and she took me into the bathroom to talk to me. Saying that she wanted to leave. She was blocking the door, so like I couldn't just like throw her out of the way. All I had was, stop, Sienna, don't do that. If I come out, she will like scream at me in front of everyone and think that I did something. I mean, I feel like no one believes a male, especially in like that type of situation. But yeah, she was on the counter, and wrapped her legs around me and started like, let me out of the bathroom. Yeah, just weird stuff. That night we went home, made sure we had like different rooms to stay in. And I got in the shower, and she picked the lock of my door. I made sure to lock the doors, but she picked the lock and walked in. I was in the shower. All I heard was just like the door opening. And that's when I was just done. I screamed at her, told her to get out. She started crying. She went and slept in my bed. And I went to my friend's trundle bed that was like upstairs. And that's how like the night ended. So now we're caught up to when everything went public, when Mason posted his tweet. Since everything was brought to social media, multiple guys came out to me and said that Sienna did similar things to them. And basically I'll show the text right now. I asked all of them for permission to post, crossed out all their names.
It's crazy.
We don't want her to hurt anybody else. We don't want anyone to go through that experience. At the time, it feels humiliating you feel like
She's like assaulting
you have no
everybody.
power, you have no control in the situation. You feel it's, I don't know, it's horrible. I just want to start off by saying that I didn't stay silent in this situation over these last couple months. I talked to my friends, my family, my parents, counselors, and I was able to process everything. I don't think I'll ever be the same person I was before Sienna. It sucks, and there's
Good
gonna
for
be
him to
people
for
that
standing up.
try to take advantage of you and get you at your most vulnerable state, and
There's probably similar stories out there.
and that's not fair. That's not fair at all. And it's a lot of the time it's usually like the nice people that like let people walk all over them. And that was me. Like I let everyone just walk all over me. No matter what. Like I would do anything for anyone. And I think that's one of the things she gave me was I learned how to be more bold and finally say no and know that it was right to speak out. I feel like people don't know what you go through until you're in it, and it's
That's
definitely
true.
like humiliating, weird, awkward. I want to be that person that says it's okay. It's okay to speak out. You're not going to be known for that. It's just a little obstacle that you have to get through. It's something you have to get through, and it sucks, but I feel like in my situation, like I've just learned. You learn from it. I've learned so much from everything. I've grown so much as a person. It's insane. And as of Sienna, I don't know if she'll ever be sorry. I don't know if she'll ever learn from what she did or she'll ever admit to what she did.
Probably not.
But I just don't want her to do this to other people. If you've been through a similar situation as me, I encourage you just to speak out. Speak out to anyone.
Yeah, just speak up.
And trust me, it helps so much. And I just wanted to say thank you so much for listening to me and letting me take time and breathe and process everything. And
Yeah, that was heavy.
I'm glad I'm finally ready to tell the world my story. If you're watching right now and you've been through a situation like mine, I just want to say your feelings are valid. Your feelings
there
are
you go.
valid, your opinion is valid. I believe you, and I want you to know that you can talk to someone, you can talk to anyone, you can talk to me. But that's how I want to end it off. I love you guys.
It's obviously a very heavy story there. A lot of men don't speak up about this topic there. What she did was like absolutely horrible. I don't know what's going through her mind there. You obviously don't want her to be more than friends. The ability to just continue after telling her to stop is kind of insane. It's like very sociopathic in nature. I guess I'll end the video there.